But the question is just who has the correct, or the more correct understanding of God. So from our perspective, we say that God is not three. We shouldn't say that He's three, because Moses didn't say that, Abraham didn't say that, Jesus didn't say that, our Prophet Muhammad didn't say that. They all taught that God is one. That's it. And we don't believe God ever came down and became a man. Because if he came down and became a man, it would be a little bit unfair to all of you women, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's okay, why didn't God become a woman, right?
Yeah.
And if he became a woman, okay, should become if he becomes a Jewish woman, the Arabs will say, why did he become a Jewish woman? Why not an Arab woman? If he became an Arab woman, the Jews would say, why did he become an Arab woman? If he became, I don't know, you get what I'm saying? If he became Dutch, the Germans would say why. Yeah. So we Muslims, when we say Allahu Akbar, it means Allah, God is the greatest, and He's bigger than this. He's bigger than being a man or a woman or an Arab or a Jew. He's something greater than this.
But it's like, you believe in Allah?
So Allah is the Arabic word for God.
Oh, okay.
Allah is the Arabic word for God. It means
I actually
God.
thought that Allah was a person, like...
No. There's no pictures, there's no drawings of Allah, because Allah is the unseen creator, God. God.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like a feeling or something.
When you go home, read in your Bible, read Gospel of Matthew. At the end of the Gospel of Matthew, or is it Mark? I think it's at the end of Gospel of Matthew, when Jesus is on the cross, he cries out some words in Hebrew. And he says, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My Eloh, why did you leave me? My God, why did you forsake me? So in other words, in Hebrew, he used a similar word, Eloh. Right?
Yeah.
Today in Denmark, but just one point, please.
You know a man called Steve, and I know a man called Steve. It doesn't mean they're the same guy. You know what I mean? So just because Jesus said on the cross he called out to God, he was calling out to his God, Yahweh, as he speaks of
No, not Yahweh, he used the word Eloh. He actually said Eloh.
But he also calling to Allah on the Quran.
Okay, but was he calling out to a Trinitarian Eloh?
For sure, Jesus Christ definitely portrayed God as Jehovah, because he is modesty.
Okay, so Jesus was praying to himself too.
He was crying out to the Father. They have an eternal relationship.
But he didn't say the Father, he said Eloh, which means God.
He was crying out to Yahweh. He was not crying to...
He didn't use the word Yahweh.
You've got to remember, girls.
He didn't use the word Yahweh.
600 years after the Bible. So Jesus Christ died on the cross for the sins of mankind, and then 600 years
So it's really interesting, because today in Denmark, let's say in Denmark, if you saw a man with a beard, wearing loose clothes, and falling on his face and praying, like it says in Gospel of Matthew, it says Jesus fell on his face and prayed. So imagine a man with a beard, he's falling on his face and praying, and he's praying, Eloh. What will you think about this man, right? You won't say, I think he's a Calvinist Christian. I think he's a Roman Catholic. No, all of you will say, oh, there's a Muslim man praying. Isn't that right?
Actually, yes.
And if you see a woman dressed like Mary, the mother of Jesus, in Denmark, if you see a woman, she's got her hair covered.
Yeah.
And she's got her arms and loose covered.
In Denmark,
what will you say?
It's illegal to have... we don't do that.
You will say what?
It's crazy because we don't do that.
It's crazy?
Different, yeah. So
I meant in terms of religious affiliation. What will you think if she's got her hair covered? You will know it's a Muslim woman, right? Yeah. You will know it's a Muslim woman. But she's dressed like Mary, the mother of Jesus.
Do you understand?
It's something to think about, right?
Yeah.
It's nowhere in the Quran.
So who brought that up? The face thing?
Oh, this is a cultural thing.
Who brought it up? Did she ask you about the
Yeah, it's because in Denmark, you can't do
It's not allowed,
No.
I wasn't talking about the face veil. I was saying, I want you to imagine a lady dressed like Mary.
Yeah.
So she has her hair covered, and she's wearing loose clothes, she's got her arms covered. Wouldn't all of you, even in Denmark, wouldn't you all of you look at her and say, oh, there's a Muslim lady, right? You'll know she's a Muslim lady. So it's something to think about, that a person who dresses and looks like Mary, you know that's a Muslim. And a person who looks like Jesus and prays like Jesus, worships like Jesus, you'll think he's a Muslim. You won't say he's a Christian or a Jew. You'll say that's a Muslim. Did you have any questions about Islam? Any other than the pork?
She asks, what do you think about in Denmark? It's not allowed to have the, where you can only see the eyes. What do you think about that? We're not accepting that.
Burqa ban.
Oh, what are you saying?
Burqa, yeah. You mind the burqa, right?
Yeah, but you can have the, to lead your hair. Yeah, you can have that, but that.
Yeah.
What
I
do you
think
think
that's
about
too
that?
much, and it doesn't come from Islam. It doesn't come from religion. It's a
Actually, the
cultural
wives of
thing.
the Prophet covered their faces. So there's a religious
I actually
aspect.
think it's
Yeah.
Hindu.
Hazrat
What's
Aisha.
this called? Hindu?
Aisha used
Hindu.
to speak with strange men.
Hindu. Kommer det ikke fra Hindu af?
Men det må jo ikke være i Danmark. But what about in Denmark we call it scary. If they think it's scary that we cover, then they cover their face.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, Muslims have to live by the laws of the land. So if they want to live in Denmark, they have to live by the laws of the land, right? And most Muslim scholars don't believe that the face has to be covered. Most Muslim scholars believe that just the hair and the body has to be covered. So I mean, that's good enough. That's okay. That's okay. It's not a problem, right?
Hassan, hvad mener du?
Do you know Aisha? She fought a war. She was leading an army. Prophet's wife, Aisha, she was leading an army and she fought a war. So to cover this something doesn't make a sense. You cannot lead a war.
No, she's not actually fighting. She was just symbolically. She
Not
was
symbolic.
leading
She
it.
was
No, she
a
wasn't
leader.
fighting with a sword.
No, she wasn't physically fighting, but
Yeah,
she was
exactly.
leading. If
So
you
you
are
can
like
do
a
that while you're
general,
covered.
if you are general, if you are president, and you don't go front on the border to fight, but you are the main person who's in the war. So she led a war against Ali. You know the history. Yeah. And there are many examples where stranger men used to come and ask questions about from Aisha, and she used to answer them, even now in Hadith. So,
But how does that prove that her face? I mean, this is not even a worthy debate to get into right now.
no, because they raised this issue about.
Let me ask the question. What do you think anyway? Do you think it's good or do you don't think it's good?
Actually, I don't care. I don't care if people cover their faces. They can do what they want, but that's the law of Denmark.
Yeah, I mean, that's the law of Denmark. Finished. That's the end of debate. That's fine.
We just being applied, but just telling you, it's nothing to do with Islam. It's not a Muslim thing, something like that.
Oh, it isn't.
No, it is not.
So there's no hadith that talk about
Many Muslim women, they don't wear this one. Massive majority, more than 90%, they don't wear
more than
this.
90% don't pray 5 times a day. That doesn't mean prayer is not a part of Islam. So
This is only people who take a literal meaning of the holy books and they go too deep, and you will see much more than wearing the niqab. You will see other things as well. But for example, have you been to Turkey?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
But I've been to Egypt.
Yeah, so Egypt, like Turkey, is much more liberal than Egypt. If you go to Malaysia, for example, that's a Muslim country as well. Indonesia. So these countries mentioned, Central Asia, like Kazakhstan. So some countries are much more liberal and free than others. That if you go to Saudi Arabia, Egypt, not very, but if you go to Afghanistan, Pakistan, and it depends where you are, in which Muslim country you are. And also another problem we have, like Christianity, there's no one interpretation of Islam. Like there's no unanimous Christianity. There's a Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, Protestant, you name it. There are many. Church of England we have here. In Islam, not by sectarian wise, there are people who are still Muslim, but a liberal mind, and some people, like in Turkey, there is secularism. So you will see if you go there, women wearing skirts and jeans and the dress same as in Western countries, but at the same
This is what I'm
time,
trying to understand. What is
they
the point? What
pray
is it
and
established?
Diverting from the conversation, man. Let the brother answer
Yeah,
the
no,
question.
but I don't even know how it's relevant. Like, okay, there's good Muslims, there's bad Muslims,
They're not here
there's
for
all
that.
kinds.
No,
There's
it's
Muslims
not
who drink, there's Muslims who do weed in my building.
No, it's not a bad.
What is the point?
Wearing a jean or wearing a skirt is not bad. That's what I'm trying to say. So you are giving one version of Islam. I'm trying to say this is not a unanimous.
Okay, it's not just a version versus
What you're
a version.
saying,
I'm talking about what 4 schools of Sunni Islam teach. What are you preaching?
I'm talking
Something
more,
different, isn't it?
No, something
Fine.
something
Well,
more.
why should I take you seriously? If you don't take the 4 canonical schools of Sunni Islam seriously, I'm just wondering, why should I take Buddy here?
There is no such
De
Altså, det er
thing.
diskuterer,
seriously.
fordi han synes, at
what
det
you're
han
saying, what
siger,
you're
det giver ikke nogen
expressing,
mening.
your views
Fordi i forhold til, hvad de skal fortælle os, så giver det ikke nogen mening, det
This
de
is
siger.
not a minority view. I'm talking about the 4 canonical schools of Sunni
I know,
Islam.
Hvad taler om?
Hanafi school,
Taler om, han synes ikke, det giver nogen mening, det han fortæller os. Det giver os ikke noget, det giver ikke os noget mål, det giver ikke nogen svar.
And good luck to you. I hope Allah accepts it from you.
I'm just trying
I hope Allah
to.
accepts
I'm
it from
just
you.
trying to see, probably you will...
You
Sorry,
don't
sorry.
believe that if you're not wearing a scarf, you're not actually Muslim or what?
No. Even if a lady's not wearing a scarf, she's still a Muslim. She's still a Muslim.
All right.
But she's not fulfilling something that she's supposed to be fulfilling. So, for example, even as a man, for example, as a Muslim man, I should grow a beard. So if I don't grow a beard, it doesn't mean that I'm not a Muslim anymore. But I'm not doing everything I'm supposed to be doing.
So it's bad. I'm actually a Muslim myself. I'm actually from Islam.
Okay.
So
Are you from a Turkish background?
No, I'm from Bosnia.
Okay.
So you believe that? So you don't believe that it's bad that I'm not wearing a scarf?
Yeah, it is. You're not fulfilling something that you're supposed to be fulfilling. Yeah, in Islam, covering the wearing the hijab is part of Islam. So that is something you should be doing. But you're taking the discussion to this topic. There's much larger, more important topics. So, for example, there's women who wear the hijab, but they're not praying 5 times a day. On the other hand, I know some ladies who don't wear the hijab, but they do pray 5 times a day. So, the more important thing here is praying 5 times a day. You'll be asked about this first. So, I'm just saying if. I'm not going to ask you right now, and there's cameras there. I'm saying if you don't pray 5 times a day, and obviously you don't wear hijab, between these two things, I would say fix the prayers first. Fix the prayers first. Yeah, start your 5 prayers first. And then the rest can come slowly too, you know? Like nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. So we're not saying that you're not a Muslim because you don't cover your head. We're not saying that.
So where did it come from? They don't cover your head to be able to cover your head.
Where does that obligation come from? From the Quran, it comes from the Hadith. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was asked, for example, by a lady, that what part of the body should she cover when she's in public? And he said everything except face and hands. So this is why we Muslims believe that there's a dress code. For men and for women, there's a dress code.
Where did the hijab come from? Like you said, cover all the
Oh, you're talking about the veil now, the face veil.
well things, because the hijab covers everything except the eyes.
Usually they call that the burqa or the niqab. The burqa or the niqab. Okay, so now you're asking not where hijab comes from, but where does the niqab come from, the face veil?
Hijab comes from, we ask how many pierced everything has like how do you come in this?
There's a saying of the Prophet Muhammad, as I explained, where he said that the woman should cover everything when she's in public, and he pointed to the face and the hands. He pointed face and hands. So that's how we get to the idea that when a Muslim woman is in public, or when she's around men that she's not related to, then she should cover everything except the face and the hands. But some scholars, now the second part of your question is, what about the face veil? Why the face? So some of the scholars say that when the Prophet said she should cover everything except this and this, he was pointing not at the face, he was pointing at the eyes. So those scholars say she should cover everything except the eyes. But the majority said no, the face is okay. She can show that to a stranger, it's okay. That's why there's some difference of opinion. There's some difference of opinion on it. But they all agree on the head and the body. They all agree on that, right? Every civilized society has a dress code, right? Every civilized society has a dress code. Even in Denmark, like if I was walking out naked on the street, I'm sure the police will come and have a talk with me, right? So we have the same concept that a civilized society, there has to be a dress code, but the threshold is different. The threshold, meaning the standard, the definition, this is different. This is different between us, right? But again, if you are coming from a Christian background, remember, whenever you see pictures of the Virgin Mary, whenever you see statues of her, you always see she is wearing the hijab, right? She has her head covered, she's wearing loose clothes. And I always jokingly say, I don't mean to be disrespectful, I'm just saying, if you pick up that statue of Mary, she's wearing the hijab, right? If you look underneath the statue, it doesn't say made in Afghanistan, made in Saudi Arabia, made in Iran, no, right? So Christians know that this is how the mother of Jesus used to dress. You know?
Yeah.
But again, I'm only answering these questions because you asked me. These are not the most important questions. These are not the most important questions. We believe as Muslims when we die, the angels will come to our grave and the first thing they will ask after they've established that you were Muslim, like who was your God, who was your prophet? So once they've established that you're a Muslim, then the first thing they'll ask you is about the 5 salah, you know, the 5 prayers. You say namaz as well in Bosnia? Namaz?
No, we don't use that word.
Salah?
Yeah, kind of.
You have another
Kind
one.
of the same.
So this is even more important than the hijab or than the beard. It's the 5 prayers a day. So start with that. If you're not doing it, start with the 5 daily prayers, you know. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. I'm not from Saudi Arabia, from Iran. I was born and raised in Canada. So